Hi, my name is Nathan, and today we're going to do a comic book review of Berserker, issue number 10, brought to you by RatedComics. Let's get to it. We begin this issue with Keanu Reeves' Berserker talking with Diana Caldwell in this incineration chamber about what happened in the previous issue when Berserker went really berserker on the military men and just started going crazy on them, ripping them in half, and just all out Berserker. Now, they're having this conversation about what really happened, what did they want, and Berserker tells her they told him to come back. So Diana's like naturally curious, like, so what they talked about, what did they say exactly? He's like, not much, they just told me it's time. They showed me where I was born, which was here on Earth. Diana's like, okay, good. So where were you born? Was it in the food desert, Saudi Arabia? The bird is there, and that's the bird that'll give him mortality, that'll end his life. And Berserker's like, yeah, my mother's gift, the red lightning, So Diana tells him it's time for the next step. They need to get him there, and he needs to be ready. And he's asking, ready how? Well, Diana tells him, we put you under extreme physical pressure. Now we need to put you under extreme emotional pressure. He's like, how's that? So she asks him, how do you feel about your mother's death? We need to go there. You need to confront it. Why? To be free, says Diana. And Keanu asks her, what about you? And she's like, well, what about me? He tells her naturally, well, you stopped me from being Berserker. You turned it off somehow. But did I, says Diana. You're still healing. Do you feel different? And keep in mind with these bubbles, they're not speech bubbles. They're just bubbles because they're communicating telepathically. Caldwell and the soldiers, like, what are they doing? They just looking at each other? No, they're communicating. Just look in their eyes. They're talking to one another. So Diana asks her, is the Berserker gone? And Keanu tells her, and I keep calling Keanu because it's Keanu Reeves. Okay, if I say Keanu Berserker, you guys know what I'm talking about. So he tells her, no, he still feels it. It's still here, but you know what? She asks him, how do you mean? You're talking to me physically, right? So Keanu tells her, you're part of it now. And Diana asks her, part of what? The purpose. There's no going back because you got that energy. So now I believe Diana has the power of Berserker too. For the first time, Berserker tells her, we're in this together. So Diana leaves and Agent Caldwell is like, Diana, and she, sarcastic responds back, Caldwell, which that's the kind of sense I'm getting from it here. We know you were talking to him, says Caldwell. Yes. So what did he tell you? Where are we? It's good, says Diana. He knows where to go, so go prep your team. I'll integrate. Alpha, says Caldwell? See, yeah, Alpha. So Caldwell asks her, so you can read my mind too? And she looks at him like, do I need to? And that was a snarky response. It's almost like she knows the purpose of his mission. He knows that she knows the purpose of the mission. And they both know the purpose of this mission. But you know what? They both need something from one another, or they both trying to get something out of this. It's almost like very sussy, but okay, let's keep the story going. So the soldier goes into the incineration room and tells Berserker, I won't stay long, just wanted to let you know that this room is designed to incinerate everything in it if everything goes wrong for your protection and ours. I'll be next door. If you need anything, just say the word, buddy. And Berserker's like, yo, I'm not gonna go home, am I? You think that's a good idea, says the soldier? And Keanu looks at him like, nah, that's what we're thinking. But in 10 days, you'll be a whole new man. Now, keep in mind in this panel, Caldwell is looking at the map here. And as he's looking at the map, notice these coordinates for Saudi Arabia, 28.860490 and 41.211. Just pay attention to that coordinates. It took me a couple times to read this over to get where this coordination or where this pertained to, but it makes sense. Just trust me on that. So Diana walks amongst the garden in this panel, and we see that she's kind of bonding with the plant life here. I don't know exactly what she's doing in this. It leaves a sense of mystery, and I know we only got 2 issues left in this comic book. Now, when Keanu Reeves goes Berserker, that's what I really want to see. That's what really drew my attention to this book. But you know what? I love the mystery element here that keeps you intrigued. So as Caldwell is planning the next mission or planning getting the team together to go to Saudi Arabia per Berserker's orders because that's where the bird is at, this gentleman walks in on Agent Caldwell. Caldwell's like, okay, well, what's your name, son? You're walking in on me like that. Quarantine LA Oliver, sir. And Caldwell's like, Oliver, well, never walk into my office without an invitation. But sir, we thought you want to know. Know what, says Caldwell? The hypercomputer it's on. Now, what she's using the hypercomputer for, she's using it to get ready to free Unu in a way, but she has these mechanical arms kind of talking or integrating with these flowers or nature. I don't know what she's doing here, but Caldwell tells her his freedom is not our prime objective, not without getting something in return. Oh, she says, I'm well aware of that. With all what we want, trust me, I got it. Confirm floor formula series Zaki. Confirm, says the computer. And she's like, okay, good. Execute new floor formula series X. Now, I don't know what she's doing here, but Caldwell's just standing by behind her, watching her do her thing. And he's telling her, is this what I think it is? I'm preparing to speak with intent, says Diana. Fascinating. Though now, before you go any further, the coordinates you gave us, Diana, we have the location and the geomodel. It's not good. Whatever we're looking for is going to be in the desert and a mile deep. Diana's like, don't worry. We got him to another plane of existence. We could get him to the bird. Just pack your shit and be ready. And what she means by another plane of existence is, in the previous issues, we saw where Berserker came from, but is the answer is not really fully answered, but we have an idea that he came from 1 million or 2 million years in the past. Now he's here and he was born on Earth. So Caldwell tells her, whenever you're done flower arranging here, he's being sarcastic here, they're telling me you need to power down the hypercomputer. Half of the western seaboard is about to black out. And Diana's like, nearly finished. We're done. So Caldwell's in his office talking to the sphere again. Call it. The sphere says, yes, call it. On alpha operation is going to be B minus 240 hours. It's a lot of moving pieces here, but I know the last 2 issues got to conclude it somehow that makes sense. So in this panel, we're at the perfect cup of coffee. And Caldwell asks a riddle to the barista. I have one for you. What's valueless if bought, but sometimes traded, a poor man may give it as easily as a king. And the barista's like, yo, I give up. What is it? It's time. Okay, what can I get you? And this is what he says. Remember that coordinates I told you before? This is where it comes back into full circle. I'll take a Saudi Arabian blend, says Caldwell. Grind 28.86049 ounces, 41.211002 bars of pressure. No more, no less. And I want it in a 10-ounce cup. I don't know what the hell that means, but those coordinates has something to do in Saudi Arabia. Now, she's like, that's very specific. And he asks her, do you have it? And she tells him, definitely. Now have a blessed day. So as the countdown begins, the alpha base is in progress. This intersect systems are delivered. It's 1 day towards countdown. Berserker wakes up and his eyes are fully healed, and so is his skin complexion. So now they're approaching the coordinates where they need to go. So the soldier tells Berserker, good luck, kid. We should get the show on the road, says B. Now, they're good luck. They wish each other good luck. The SAT system checks, the nav system checks, the containment centers check. Everything's all good. Now, as Diana and B walking in the desert, Diana tells Unut, that's his tribal name from many years ago. She tells him, hold on. He asks her, what is this? It's an experiment. It's what might have opened your mother's mind. Help her make contact. I think it'll help you too. So he drinks it. But she drinks it too. And he asks her, what are you doing? Don't worry, just take my hand. And he rubs his head together as he starts hallucinating or going back in time or just getting the memories together. So as they go back into time and he starts remembering things, he tells her, you shouldn't be here. Tell me about your mother, how your mother died, says Diana. Like he's just fighting off this memory, going through some things right now, like a mental mind trip right now. I killed my mother. I didn't stop him, any of them. He's just going all crazy trying to remember things. No, she wanted you to save you, says Diana. She had a gift. It's not your fault. You were a child. I love you, says, Berserker. Take the gift. And we see Keanu Reeves' mom there, but now we see Diana. You're ready? Be free. Dig a little deeper to find this bird that you're looking for that will give you mortality and end the life. End his life, so to speak. Not so to speak, but end his life, literally. So they go to this well. Is this the spot? Is this the spot, says Diana. And he's like, yeah. But now we see a flashback of Berserker's mom and his father. This bird will take the curse from him. And the father's like, no, you were cursed our village, because the dad was using Berserker to conquer and just get back all the evil doing that was done to his village. So he throws the bird down the well. Say it, says Diana. Speak with intent, Unu. Mother, I'm ready. I'm sorry. I'm ready. And so he summons this bird from the ground, deep within a mile from in the ground. And all of a sudden the bird comes up to him and just impales his hand. Now we go into this panel right here where Caldwell and the soldier are looking at the monitor, checking on the status of things. Now Caldwell wants to leave, and the soldier's like, yo, where are you going? He's like, man, this is history. I want to see it for myself. Bless us. And the soldier's like, man, I just don't like this one bit. So he looks in his binoculars and he sees his armies and tanks and helicopters approaching. He's like, what the hell is all this about? And we don't know. it's just kind of like mystery. We don't know what that's about. We don't know what this bird's about. It's just a lot of mind trip here. We got a couple issues left to wrap this all up. But as the bird impales Berserker in his hand and throughout his body, his eyes go lightning blue. He screams in pain. All Diana can do is just lay on the ground and look in awe and amazement and in shock. And this bird envelops Berserker, and that's where we end this issue. Obviously, more questions and answers in this issue. Did I dig it? Of course I dig it. I'm too heavily invested in this comic book to not conclude the final 2 issues. I'm looking forward to seeing how this wraps up, and also when this comes out on Netflix, hey, you know your boy's gonna be watching that too. But with all that being said, man, I think this is a fun issue. Not as much violence, or not any violence that we're so used to in Berserker, but hey, I guess this is one of those breathers that we need a breather from, because of Berserker issue number 9 was the most brutal Berserker I've read to date. But link in description if you wish to add this comic book to your comic book collection. Support the art, support the industry. With that being said, Berserker issue number 10. What you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. And also, if you like the content we're throwing up, you know what to do. Don't be shy and don't be stingy. Here at Rated Comics, we do awesome comic book reviews, comic book related content with the occasional comic book giveaway. Also, don't forget that this video is sponsored by coffee, so if you'd like to buy your boy a cup of coffee, link in description. But the greatest compliment you guys can do is to like this video and subscribe to this channel. It'll help Rated Comics and make more comic book reviews just like this and comic book related content. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.